How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. You better be supporting that shit too, or you can get the fuck out of here. This is Season 1, Episode 4, Make Way for Medusa. So, we are immediately dropping what I was just saying last time with the themality of the titles. And this one is pretty straightforward. Make way for Medusa. Medusa is coming to go towards Black Bolt. Make way for her. Because she's pissed off and she's getting to her husband. Now, what's she gonna do besides, she has this pistol, but aside from that, what can she really do? Well, let's find out. I mean, she can fight herself, as they all can, but going up against, like, a lot of people, assumingly. And again, we don't know what this guy wants to do with Inhumans specifically, the guy who took Black Bolt. We don't know what he wants to do with Inhumans specifically, so hopefully we find that out in this episode. Get to see more of that Hawaiian guy and what happened with his family. It seems like he's going to be a pretty reoccurring character in this, so I'm excited to see it. Let's get into it. Okay, so now we have seen where they are taking Black Bolt. We know what is going on with Declan. As I said last episode, I was not fully trusting him, and even at the beginning of this episode, after his whole explanation, I was not fully trusting of him. But now, I think after all of this, I do have some faith in him. He's not going to kill Black Bolt, at least. They had poison. I don't know what that was for. Maybe they had it for a good reason. I also don't know why they would just have a vial that assumingly just says poison on it. Because it doesn't seem like the bigger guy, like, read off the ingredients or something, or he just looked at it and said poison. And I don't think that's Black Bolt can read English, it seems, so I think that's why he held it up to him. But either way, yeah, Declan is questionable, but ultimately I think when push comes to shove, he would be on our side. Like, he is working with Maximus, but he also thinks that Maximus is just a human. He doesn't know anything about Maximus being an Inhuman. He doesn't know anything about Adelan. He doesn't know anything about where Black Bolt came from. Like, assumingly, he thinks the Black Bolt is just another random Inhuman from Earth. I mean, he knows nothing about the moon. So, yeah, also, Black Bolt's DNA seems to be perfect. Like, it took me a while to understand this episode. I really, was very confused, because I thought he was talking about Inhumans in general. But it seems like, no, he's talking about Black Bolt in general. And, like when he was talking about, normally when somebody, I don't know the exact phrasing he said, but normally when somebody gets powers, it is a circle and a row of squares, but with Black Bolt, it is all circles. When he was saying that, I thought he was talking about Inhumans, but Inhumans are also, it may also because up in Adelan, they were talking about Inhumans being the perfect DNA and changing into the perfect DNA and all that. But it does seem like Inhumans are also a genetic mutation, even though that shouldn't make any sense, but that does seem to be the case. Like, again, Inhumans were designed by Kree and everything, so their whole DNA should be changed. It should be more like a bunch of triangles, but it is, like, it is the same as having cancer or something. I'm not sure how that works with the transformation. Like, how does that change? Because it would change your DNA. So, I really have no idea how that works. I'm not sure if I just was not, if I didn't understand that correctly or something, because, why would he not say the same thing to the bigger guy? Because the bigger guy has already gone through Terrigenesis and everything, so yeah, I don't know. I don't get what they're saying about Inhumans and DNA in this, but they are saying at least that with Black Bolt's DNA, they could find a way for anybody, any person, whether Inhuman or not, to be able to just change themselves at will, like to be able to, there's some animals that can do that, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that can do that, where they can essentially change their DNA on the fly to be able to better protect themselves against predators or to better survive something or something. Usually on a very small scale, but it is possible. So thus it should be, I mean, I know that's something in real life that we look into all the time. We're still trying to figure out how to do something like that. But yeah, to be able to have that be for humans, to be for any Inhuman to be like, or for any human to just be like, yeah, actually, I would like to have this power, and then just make themselves that. Or, I mean, to be able to go through fucking, like, gender transition, or to, you know, if you have, like, cancer or something like that, or, you know, kids don't die. There's so many possibilities I could go through for this. I mean, hell, my hair is fucking terrible. I hate my hair. It's shit. I would love to be able to be like, you know, instantly snap my fingers, my hair looks great. I would love shit like that, you know? Snap my fingers, no more asthma. Snap my fingers, no more ADHD. It'd be great. But, you know, don't think it's going to be something that's going to be possible by the end of the series. I feel like that's too wild of a thing to exist in the MCU for just any human to be able to change themselves on the fly. So, something's got to go wrong, but what's going to go wrong? Because, is it just going to be that the research is not possible, that Declan believes it's possible, but it's not actually possible? Is it going to be that Declan dies, and so we now have nobody that's able to do it? You know, sort of like, oh, Declan was the only one who could do it. Or is it going to be a thing where Black Bolt dies, and so we can't get the DNA from him? Or is it going to be an entirely separate scenario where Black Bolt just runs back to the moon and Maximus is dead and they just can't get to Black Bolt, so they can't get the DNA? That is possible too. Now, it doesn't seem like they need to, like, they could get DNA from Black Bolt without killing him. They have been in prison here because of everything going on with Maximus, but Declan isn't exactly listening to Maximus. So, yeah, I assume that's probably why off-screen, Maximus probably told Auron and them to go to, because they were searching after Gorgon with the Locust ability, but so Maximus probably told them, actually, instead, go to this place, kill Black Bolt, kill Declan, and, well, I don't know if he would. Maybe probably like kill Black Bolt, capture Declan, and force him to do it. Something like that, perhaps. But it's all going awry now. So, what are they going to do? Are they going to go capture Declan, or... Don't know. We'll find out. Medusa is on her way there as well. I still really like Medusa, really like what they're doing with her character, except for everything to do with Luis. I wish that, you know, honestly, I would rewrite this entire show to just take Luis out. Also, just replace Luis with just, like, another Hawaiian person. Like, I don't know, it also feels real weird that we have this setting where we're trying to do this, like, oh, they're all in Hawaii, and that was the best place for them to end up, because there's going to be a lot of other Inhumans there and stuff going on with that, and also that the Hawaiians are very nice people and are going to... are going to be very easily trusting of them, a lot more trusting than most other people would be. And then they're just kind of all in the background sort of characters, and or they just don't even get names most of the time, and now our, like, major, you know, not even because she was from California, but, like, our major Earth character is now Luis, this, like, super white Hallmark, like, rom-com protagonist, which they're not even, you know, it doesn't even feel like a parody of that or anything. It just is straight up that same character you see in every single rom-com, the same one you see in every single Christmas movie, same one you see in all this shit. She's so boring, so generic, and I would have rewritten it entirely to just take her out or replace her with a different, more interesting character. Replace her with a native character. But no, we're stuck with boring-ass Louise, who's just going to complain all the time about her situation, even though out of almost everybody we've seen in the show, she has the best situation going on. But of course, everybody has something to complain about. But still, it's just, it feels out of place in everything else that is going on. Her problems are so nothing. But I did enjoy seeing, at the very least, the entertainment factor of them running away from the police and just Luis getting through this, just being drugged through this situation. But again, that was only entertaining for the beginning, because very quickly she's not being drugged through it anymore, and she is taking a very active, I want to help, you know, and be a part of this sort of thing, which I don't really understand. I think that's also a problem with it. All the other characters, I feel like they've done a great job of making us be able to understand where they're coming from and why they would be helping whoever they're helping. But Luis, I don't understand why she would be doing any of this. Like, you know, nothing in her character seems to be established that she would be willing to... Like, she doesn't seem to comprehend the consequences that would befall her if she got caught from all this. I think that is what I'm missing. You know, Hula and all those guys, they understand the consequences that is going to happen for what they are doing. The guy that is helping Black Bolt, he understands the consequences that is going to happen if this turns out, if Declan's place turned out to be another prison, which it did. All these characters understand, and I think, you know, I guess that's also a problem with Crystal as well. You know, her sort of side. Not that they don't understand the consequences, because there's not really a whole lot of consequences going on there. That's just boring rom-com stuff that I'm kind of uninterested in, because, again, I was just not seeing this is where we were going with Crystal's character. I feel like we just, like, there was a lot of interesting stuff going on with Crystal, and we suddenly dropped all that for a romance subplot, and really not sure how I feel about it. And Crystal's feeling way more princessy, in a way that I feel like they could have done more of that on Adeline. Like, I like this aspect of her, and I would like to see more of her very princessy and, like, her not being a part of the royal family, but her being very uppity and very expecting, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very entitled. That is what I was looking for. Very entitled. She has that sort of mentality of, my parents went up against them, they were banished, and so now I am going to get the most out of this situation. And again, with the banishing thing, does that mean that they were killed? Does that mean that they were... clearly doesn't mean that they were killed. But what does banishing mean? Does it just mean, like, banishing them off the moon into space? Because that definitely means they're dead. Or do they actually send them down to Earth and they're still alive down on Earth somewhere? Are they Lockjaw? Again, we don't know what Lockjaw... Lockjaw has to be a person. And Lockjaw was not there before, you know, well, at least we didn't see Lockjaw during this flashback. So, what's going on there? I'm so, you know, scared as to what's going on with this dog. I don't know how they would make two people into a dog, but, and it could just be I mean, who else would it be? Because you would think it would be someone very close to Crystal, but it doesn't seem like it, so I don't know who's this dog. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, everything, it was so also extremely convenient with the, I don't even remember his name because I don't really care about him at all, but the guy Crystal was with, where he was like, oh yeah, my ex is a vet and she's just right around the corner, right over here. Like, it's so unbelievably convenient. And I think Louise also felt way too convenient many times, where she could just, you know, do pretty, like, she was hacking into the NSA, or tracking the NSA's satellites and everything, which is like, maybe just anybody can do that, you know, but it doesn't seem like it. Seems like you would have to have some clearance for that. And it's not like you would have that clearance. So that's why I said hacking, because I assumed. But either way, you know, I hope there's less of Luis as we go forward, and less of that guy that Crystal is with. It was a nice moment, though, the music and everything. It was a nice moment. I would rather spend that. We only have 8 episodes. Can we spend that time on the other stuff that is more entertaining? And it doesn't have to be directly related to the main plot. Karnak's stuff is extremely fascinating, and he is not with a bunch of natives from Hawaii, and he's also not with, you know, something that is extremely plot relevant. He is not with something that is giving us more, like, lore on Inhumans or anything. Like, he is as far removed from everything as he could possibly be, and it is still very entertaining. So, you know, it's not just those aspects. It is how you go about it, how you execute it. The only aspect I don't, you know, and iffy on is the girl that Karnak's getting in a relationship with is so very heavily inspired by Alex from Lost, like, in appearance and personality and the way she speaks and everything. I was so like, is this the actor? But it wouldn't, you know, like, it isn't, and also it wouldn't be, because Inhumans are doing a great job of, when they are bringing back Lost actors, they are making them so insanely different looking and different acting and different personality than their other counterparts. Whereas this character felt very like they were just trying. I mean, it's a very different, you know, way the characters are going, because it's way two different shows, but still, that was the only part where the whole episode I've said, for Declan and for Karnak, I have not had the problem of, like, looking at them and being like, oh, right, I have to remember this is a, you know, I have to keep in mind it's a new character and not, like, a character I'm familiar with him as an actor. Whereas this new character, who I am not familiar with him as an actor, I am having that problem with, because they look so much like Alex Rousseau. But, you know, it's a tiny little thing. I just wanted to bring that up. So, we have the leader of the weed team, I guess we'll call them. He is now killing all 3 of them, I believe. Like, as he said in that conversation with his like, secondhand guy, that, oh, you know, oh, you didn't trust us originally, and he was like, yeah, but I needed you guys to, you know, I needed an extra set of hands to get this to happen, which was implying, but I don't need another set of hands like Karnak, but it could also be implying now I don't need any other hands. Like, I needed you people to get this running, but now that it's up and running, essentially, I don't need anybody, and I'm just going to do this by myself. And Karnak is sleeping, or, well, starting to sleep with, and, you know, just the whole ocean scene really, you know, set him off. Like, that is what set him off, but it was something that he was in that moment, even before then, stewing, like, maybe I don't need any of them. And that's a pretty big grave, too. It's not a grave enough for one person. That's a multi-people grave. So, yeah, he's clearly planning to kill them all three, I think. Now, Auron's team, I really hope we can get a cool fight with them. The fight we got with Gorgon, not interesting at all. And also, Gorgon, the way the Gorgon's scene ended was extremely forced. Like, I really like the Hawaiian guys and Gorgon's team. You know, they're all very morally gray, but I really like it. It's very nice. But the whole, like, oh, now you guys are like my family, and I protect my family, so I gotta go. It felt, you know, they're cool, they're close, but, like, they've known each other for a day, for one single day. I don't know, it felt a little bit forced to say you're my family. Like, you know, if he said, like, you know, I protect my family, like, I am the royal guard, I protect my royal family and all that, and you guys, I want to protect you too. That would be one thing. But the fact that he said you guys are family that was way too forced. But I do hope we get a cool fight scene again with Auron's group, because they have potential. They're just, that scene was so, like, the original fight scene we got with them was so much cuts and so much just people shooting at the ground, or just standing around and not doing anything. And yeah, Mortis, they're not executing very well. Mortis is extremely not scary, so I hope they do more with these guys, because this team is not scary at all. They're extremely not scary. Medusa beat their ass, and now we got away from them again. Gorgon and then beat their ass. Like, we just keep beating their ass over and over again. They're not scary, so they're gonna have to really do something to make me care. And holy shit, what a reveal with Maximus. Like, I love how much we're seeing how insanely much Maximus wants this. He wants to be an Inhuman so badly, and he's seeing how happy he was when he was talking to them. Like, this was his plan from the beginning. And again, I really like seeing how logical all Maximus's plans are. Throughout all 4 of these episodes, we keep going, like, he's not stupid. He's not just suddenly doing a coup. It's not that he doesn't know what, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He has a plan, and it's working extremely well. As incompetent as some of these characters are, it's still working extremely well. Like, you know, Auron's team, as incompetent as they are, still working. So, seeing how happy he was that he finally figured out a way, and he thought full on, like, I'm going to bring this to the Genetic Council. The Genetic Council is going to say, oh, Maximus, congratulations, you found a way to be an Inhuman again. That's great. Now you can go through Terrigenesis again, and you can be a king that we all are actually behind and everything. Like, he's even trying to appeal to the racists who don't want him as a king because he's a human. He's even trying to appeal to them, and they're still like, sorry, even if you can become an Inhuman now, we're not gonna let that happen. What if you die? I know we don't want you to be king, but what if you die? So, yeah, seeing that he truly believed that they were gonna say yes was heartbreaking. And everything we learned with his friend in the Genetic Council, and how he abandoned him and all that, and you know, making him prove his worth by getting all the other Genetic Council banished. And are they getting banished to Earth, or are they also going to be turned into a bunch of dogs? Who knows? Maybe we're just going to get a bunch more big ass teleporting dogs. And how would that even, also, with Lockjaw, how would that even happen? Like, it had to go through Terrigenesis, so it couldn't have been like, oh, we banished your parents, we turned them into a dog. Unless somebody has the ability to turn people into dogs. Oh, I don't know. Is Lockjaw somebody that went through Terrigenesis, or is it that somebody turned Lockjaw into, or turned somebody into a dog? Also, getting to see more lore about Attilan, like the crops, or the not eating meat, and stuff like that. Like, really like all the stuff we learned about Attilan. Through just natural stuff going on, through natural conversations. By the way, they really got an amazing actor for Black Bolt. Like, of course, you know, as somebody who needs to keep his mouth shut the entire time, they need somebody who can really act. And they got somebody who can really act. The Medusa and Black Bolt reuniting scene was fantastic, super lovingly. I warmed my heart. Absolutely loved it. And, you know, now that I think about it, Hula and those guys are probably going to pop up and, you know, in some big hero moment to save the day. I don't know where. I'm not even sure if it'll be with Gorgon or if they might show up when Gorgon is teamed up with some, like, Gorgon meeting back up with other people and then they show up to help, maybe. I don't know who Gorgon would meet up with. Maybe Gorgon could meet up with Karnak now. I don't know. Or he could meet up with Crystal. I don't think he's going to immediately meet back up with Black Bolt and with Medusa, though. I can't see that happening. And man, once again, I gotta mention every time, I'm just so glad that this is being filmed in Hawaii. Like, it looks so unbelievably beautiful. The water in Hawaii is so nice. It is that, you know, you think it's, oh, it can't possibly be that crystal clear. It can't possibly be that good looking. And yet it absolutely is. It looks so unbelievably amazing. I can't believe they went swimming in their underwear in an ocean when nobody is around. That's like the most network television thing I've ever seen. Alright, that is it for this episode. I will see you guys for the next episode. Until then, get the fuck out of here.